Hey guys, it's me, StrawGlicks, LPSTube, however you know me. And June 19th, 2020 is my 5-year anniversary of making LPS videos. It really doesn't feel like it's been that long. It feels like it's been like 3 years since I was there sitting with my friend, making LPS videos, just innocent, stupid little music videos, not really thinking much of it. The past few years have kind of been a blur, and it's crazy to think that it's been 5 years since I first discovered LPS, and honestly, I'm going to get emotional during this video, I'm just going to be honest. I first created LPSTube, my LPS channel, on June 19th, 2015. And I honestly didn't see myself in the 5 years moving channels after a bad experience, after disconnecting from an entire community, after just being so into LPS and making series voice acting. I just didn't see myself where I am now in 5 years. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna be fake. I'm not gonna fake happy, fake sad, fake angry. I don't know, I'm not gonna fake anything, okay? I'm just gonna be me and say that I really didn't think this is where I would be in 5 years. Voice acting, I wanted to be an author, I wanted to make video games, I wanted to do all this crazy stuff. Now I'm here, and it's crazy that in 5 years I would be super into Littlest Pet Shops and making videos and making series of voice acting. I just didn't think this is where I would end up in life. And of course I still got a long life to go, unless COVID gets me, but you know. It is unbelievable. This is where my journey has led me so far. 5-year mark, this is the first 5, 10, 15 year mark, if you know what I mean, which calls for a pretty big celebration. Last year was my 4-year anniversary, obviously 2019, and I made a video, basically a compilation of how my videos looked throughout the years, and even though there was music over it and it was silent, you could still tell the improvement in quality and everything like that, and I really have changed and grown a lot throughout the years. I want this year to be a bit more special, so I'm going to go through the past 5 years and basically talk about where my journey led me, what happened throughout all of those years, each and every one of those years. I'm going to talk about my entire journey, how it all came to be, how I've changed throughout the years, how my LPS channel went, just everything, my entire journey, my legacy. And I want to be remembered for this video. I want to be remembered for this journey on LPSTube, and I hope one day I will be remembered for this. I hope one day I will go down in history as this LPSTuber who was passionate about her work, who went through these experiences, who overcame experiences, who made these videos and was here for people when they needed it, who inspired people. This is who I want to be, and I'm happy to be LPSTube or StrawGlicks, the Squidster, whatever other channels. I'm happy to be me. Today I have Rudy, who was my mascot very temporarily for only probably a couple of weeks or months before I just went, what the heck am I doing? And she also represents a big part of where it all started, and you'll learn that soon. And I also have here Sherbert, or the mascot of this channel, very new channel, StrawGlicks. This will probably be a long video, but I know that a lot of you care, and I know that a lot of you will sit through and listen to what I have to say, and care about what I had to say, and I appreciate it. Thank you for sticking through, thank you for listening, and let's take it back to the beginning, to around March, April of 2015. We're gonna go way back for this one. All the way back in time to the beginning of it all, in 2015. Around March or April, I met a friend. This friend, as you may know, is Kimberly Smith 1234. They had a YouTube channel, they probably still do. They're not very active on there anymore, but I talked to them a bit recently. We kind of grown apart over the years, but back then we got very close. So basically my parents said, "You're a loser, go get some friends." And friends I did find, because only 2 doors away in our small, crappy little neighborhood near this giant construction site was Kimberly. It was a crisp, probably Sunday, maybe not, night. I was walking my pudgy little dog down the road, and 2 doors away, I saw in that house, there was a family talking, and in that family, there was a kid. And my parents told me, "Hey, This family, they hang out on their patio sometimes, so we see them time to time. They have a kid, and they look your age. Talk to them. You're a loser. Go get some friends. Kimberly and I talked a bit about school, and then we never saw each other again. Nah, just kidding. We saw each other pretty much every day. And what do you know? Second or third day that I go over to her house, she introduces me to LPS. I say I don't know what LPS are because I didn't know that people didn't want to say the mouthful Littlest Pet Shop every time they mentioned their favorite toy franchise. So I didn't really know about the abbreviation LPS. Wasn't familiar with it. She showed me LPSTube. The first thing she ever showed me was LPS Skittles Bully School series. I really liked it a lot, and I was inspired to make my own videos since I did want to be a YouTuber at some point. While she wasn't allowed to have a YouTube channel, we still made our own little videos on VideoFX Live and VideoStar, which are still apps that I use today. A lot of it was music videos, and honestly, a lot of it was music videos. To this day, songs like This Is How We Do It are very nostalgic to me and just absolutely bring me back, because I remember we made a music video with that very song, and it was really fun. She had this giant radio, and she would play songs on it, play today's songs, and we started getting really into it, and it was fun. She had a microphone, and it was cool, and we would use the microphone to make little microphone-like voice for LPS videos. It was fun. We always went along with that big old mansion, princess royalty, or just big fat family with sisters that always fight, and that one sister who's all pissy and rich and whatnot, and we would always go along with that plot usually. But I will never forget the first video that we made, which featured this very LPS. The first LPS we ever used to make any LPS video of any type was this LPS Dalmatian right here that you see, who today I've named Rudy. This LPS will never not bring back memories of just sitting in a room, playing with her little pink scarf and treating it as a red carpet up to the Rapunzel tower that you might see in some of my old videos. And it was really fun. We made all sorts of videos, and it was super fun. We would mess around with them. It was cool. And then the day came. June 19, 2015. My mom and my sister, mainly my sister, helped me set up my YouTube channel that you know today as LPS Allison TV, which I unfortunately abandoned due to certain reasons, circumstances, but that will never not mean a lot to me. LPS Allison TV began, and I got some LPS for my birthday. Now back in 2015, they were making those new LPS, so I didn't necessarily have those old LPS that all the fans know and love. Instead, this is what I got. And you know, I was okay with it. June 22nd, 2015. I've had these guys for almost 5 years by now. And because I'm terrible and slow at making videos, probably 5 years by now. 5 years since I've collected LPS. And honestly, it was okay that they weren't the old LPS that everybody knew and loved. At that point, I didn't really know about the, old versus new. I knew they were different in some way with the holes and everything. But I didn't hate them, and I never did, and I still don't. And I don't think I ever will. Why did I say I don't think? I won't. I really won't hate them. I love you guys. Even if they're the newer ones, not really new anymore, but even if they weren't the old ones that everybody knew and loved and adored and cherished like I do today, I still love them. They have a lot of sentiment, a lot of nostalgia, and they helped me make my first ever videos and my first ever series, LPS Sheila Goodwill, which you've probably heard many times on my channels. Sheila Goodwill was my first ever series and some of my first ever LPS videos I ever ended up making. I remember that I used my little filing cabinet that we had that just happened to be in my room for some reason. Even though it wasn't really mine, nothing in there was mine. It was kind of annoying, to be honest. There are like 18, 20, 35, 600, however many versions of the series out there on my old editor iMovie back when I edited on a computer. Back when chargers weren't stupid and just failed to connect to the computer so that I could import them to the editing source. I was never really satisfied with the series, but I know one day I will and it will surface back to the top. After all, it's what got me started. How could I never continue it again? How could I just let it be forgotten? I know one day that it will come back. This was really when I was learning, and I remember that I would put notebooks on my carpet floor and I would film on there because it was the closest that I ever had to a set at the time. And that was pretty much the remainder of the year, using whatever sets that I could find. It would go from the filing cabinet to my carpet to these notebooks to like tops and bottoms of board game boxes. It was kind of outrageous. I didn't have an option for a really long time. And I remember eventually I started using my dad's iPad to film, which meant it was really difficult to kind of film videos because it was so big. I don't necessarily recommend using an iPad. It can be easier to use a phone like I do, or, if you're professional and good at making videos, a camera. 2015 holds a lot of sentiment and nostalgia to me. It's when I first started, everything online. It's when I truly came into the online internet world. May or may not have been a mistake, but it's me. It started who I am today, and it means so much to me. And my friend, I can't thank my friend enough for getting me started. And I still have contact with her. I will show her this video. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You don't know how much this really has changed my life. I'm still doing it today, even if you've grown out of it. And what you did really does mean a lot to me. It changed my life forever. Dude, I'm not even kidding. Come here, get a hug, get a hug. I demand you get a hug, even if it's just from a toy over the internet. Okay, Rudy, I think it's time that we bring in the big guns. Time for 2016, the following year. 2015 was only the beginning, my friends, because now we're transitioning into the following year, when a lot happened. 2016. I've often marked 2016 as the golden era of LPS Allison TV, the golden age of videos when I was so passionate about them, specifically late 2016. But I also failed to neglect the negatives of this year. And yeah, there were a lot of them. In fact, you could consider 2016 the start of the downfall in my career, I suppose. But before that, my friend sort of left all her stuff at my house, so then I had possession of every single LPS and prop that she ever owned because she decided to bring it over one day, and she didn't have enough time to haul it back home, and she never took it back until she had to. So then we had that going on. So yeah, I kind of owned my friend's stuff for like a year or so because she never took it back for a long time. I thought it happened in 2016 near the beginning, but as it turns out, according to my old videos, it seemed to have happened maybe mid or late 2015. So, my apologies for that. My sense of time is screwed up. And from then on, you start to see a lot more LPS, a lot more props, and a lot more Rapunzel Tower all over the place. It was also around this time that I discovered my biggest inspirations, Possum TV, Cookie Swirl C, and some others, which is why some of those old 2016, maybe late 2015 videos sort of copy their childish-like energy. So sorry about that. I guess I was never original, was I? Having these inspirations meant a lot to me, because now I had people that I could kind of focus on, people that I could look up to, and kind of things that inspired my own work. It was around this time that I started finding inspirations in other LPS tubers and LPS series to watch in general. So starts my whole obsession with LPS Popular and LPS High School Drama series, which pretty much coat 90% of the community at this point. A lot of my favorite series growing up in the LPS community were LPS Popular, LPS The Real Me Inside, LPS Double Trouble, LPS Troublemakers, and many others. Samantha's TV, please come back. Give us an update of some sort. Just let us know you're alive. Please, did the COVID get you? But yeah, things started kind of going downhill later that year, and it kind of started the whole sad stage in my life, I guess. I remember, I was working on maybe the 10th or 11th episode of the 69th version of Sheila Goodwill or whatever, which is still on YouTube, by the way, and I got a text from my friend. At the time, she was going on a summer vacation in her hometown, which is what they always did every summer, her and her family. And she texted me telling me that she was going to move away, that they were going back to their hometown. And so begins the tragic heartbreak. I was bawling, I was in tears, I was just depressed. I was so upset, and I felt like I was selfish because I thought, oh, what if I'm only upset because of the LPS? I knew I wasn't, and yet my mind told me that, and I felt even worse, and there was a lot of chaos. And so marks the official start of my downfall. Though I often blame it on 2017 for other reasons, this is when it truly began. Everything kind of changed after that. I became more negative. I even remember writing on my wall or my closet door at some point, I need a friend, I need someone by my side again. I was so upset and so alone, and I've never really made a friend like her since. Everything felt like it was over after that. But I simply started growing my own little collection. I gave her all her stuff back, which is why you no longer see those props and other LPS in my videos anymore. I became a lot more upset, and I started getting more hate, or at least I started noticing the hate more. And this kind of begins my obsession with hate comments. I started handling them very poorly in late 2016, making lots of videos on them, and it kind of led into 2017, as you guys probably saw. And I always blame this whole anger issues, being upset about hate comments all the time, not taking them properly anymore on 2017 when it really started this year. And I'm kind of trying to fix my hate bias on that. It really started in 2016, and they always put 2016 on some pedestal of honor, like, this is when everything was going well and I was so passionate. But I have to remember, this was when things started falling apart. My friend moved away, I became obsessed with internet arguments, I eventually grew anger issues, and I eventually just grew so angry at hate comments I couldn't take them properly anymore, and ever since then, I can never really take them the same way that I did. I think I actually remember in old videos thinking, I think I cleaned up every hate comment on my channel, which shows that I wanted to get every single hate comment and prove them wrong in some way. It was very unhealthy. Not to mention, at this time, I was actually becoming more open to sensitive subjects, probably because I felt like I was in such a dark place or something. So I started looking at them, and I started looking into them. I saw the cyberbully movie or whatever. It's not that good looking back, or at least I don't think so. But I started looking into all those movies. I looked at Bullied to Death, and it was an LPS movie, and I remember, I think a second part came out that year, the previous year. It was actually a really fun movie to watch. I haven't seen it in a while, and I may have to revisit it sometime soon. I started becoming more open to subjects such as self-harm, suicide, and other things, but it wasn't necessarily bad because I was becoming aware of these subjects. It was bound to happen sooner or later. I mean, I was on the internet. I was bound to be open to these subjects soon enough. I even started discovering things like LGBTQ and people being transgender, people being gay, things like that. And I think it was good to become more open to those things. And recently watching lots of videos about that for Pride Month gives me a lot of nostalgia for those old times when I was truly becoming open to the internet and the world and other stuff like that. Unfortunately, I decided to make a little If You're Suicidal video of my own. And since I didn't do a lot of research back then, and I just thought it was being sad all the time, it probably wasn't a very good video, but I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm not sure. But I do remember that marks the start of getting someone on my channel. This person was a major hater of me. They made multiple alternative accounts. They probably impersonated me on other accounts, and I remember this year I got my first impersonator on my account. And it was very surprising. They had the same icon as me at the time, so I thought, oh my god, did they hack into my account? And I remember someone who's my friend today, actually, if you're watching this, hey, what's up? Do you remember? You commented, yo, I think someone hacked her account or something because she's, being really mean. And I'm like, oh my god, I panicked for a second. That's just an impersonator account. So impersonators become a huge deal on my channel back then, as well as hate comments, and this one person who decided to make all these alternative accounts hate on my channel all the time, and I was kind of scared to upload from then on. It really wasn't good. They apologized later on in probably maybe spring of 2017, and I ended up forgiving them. But it just wasn't necessarily the best time in my life. However, as I started my own little collection, I will say that I still count this as the golden age of LPSTube, even if my mental health was kind of going down at the time. Why do I consider it this way? Well, I became very passionate about videos. Yes, I became passionate about hate comments as well, not necessarily the best. But I started up all my series. And I started collecting my own LPS, and I started my own legacy right there. I started being myself and trying to be myself, besides copying LPS skills for my 10 Things videos, but otherwise, I was truly trying to start my legacy there. And it brings back a lot of great memories. So, I still consider it the golden age of LPSTube. Maybe it's my nostalgia that I can't let go, but I just remember starting so many series at this time, starting everything that you may know me as today. And as much as I've been stalling for probably the past 2 or so minutes to get on to the next section, it's time to move on to 2017, when things took a much darker turn in my life. 2017 is a year that I've despised for a while now, something that I've been trying to forget. But it's something that haunts you, and you can't forget it and get rid of it, so I've been trying to accept it more into my life. It was still a big part of my life. It's still nostalgic to me, because apparently 2017 nostalgia exists now, my brain decided recently. And a lot happened that year that's worth taking note of, that's worth acknowledging, and I can't hide it. I can't hide from it. So, it's time to move on to 2017, when life took a darker turn for me. Goodbye 2016, you will always be missed. And so, with a heavy heart, we move on to the next dreadful year that I've been kind of waiting to talk about in this video, and waiting to talk about my experiences from this year, 2017. So, what can I even say about 2017? A lot happened this year. It was quite eventful, and it was quite miserable as well. And it was a very lazy year for this channel as well. My least favorite year of this channel. This year, as you guys may know, is home of the lazy era of LPSTube, which I've talked about very often in a quite negative way. And for good reason too. I don't like this era at all. It consumed most of 2017, and it's still such a huge part of my channel. When I'm scrolling through videos, it makes me so sad that it takes me so long to scroll through the entire lazy era, because I was uploading all the time because I could, because it was lazy. Even the times I had school. And you could argue that was just a lot of motivation, a burst of motivation. Of course, uploading frequently doesn't always mean that it's lazy, but in my case, it certainly was. Today, making videos takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of effort to just get up and go over to my desk and film a video, but that's mainly because of other experiences and just overall loss of motivation. Still, this part of my channel I'm not very proud of, and it was, of course, a time that I was very popular, unfortunately, despite making really lazy content, and despite being not necessarily the best person. Always talking about the hate, always talking about the anger, letting my anger out on the haters or whatever, and trying to clean up every tiny hate comment I ever got on my channel and made a big deal out of them all. And of course, cringe culture was spiking, so you can imagine my LPS Littlest Pet Shop channel getting pretty popular and recommended to everybody that I knew, or people that I didn't know. It was kind of a messy time. It could have been better if I knew how to handle the hate. This could have been a great year if it wasn't just for me, I tell myself, very often. But I need to stop telling myself that. I was immature, I didn't know how to handle things. There were other factors that caused me to be very angry. I turned to bad coping mechanisms like just being angry so that I didn't have to feel sad anymore. Which is kind of funny because today I kind of like being sad sometimes. I just love crying. It feels nice. I love crying. I will literally make myself cry because it feels so nice. And anger sucks. I hate the feeling of anger now. But that's not necessarily the topic. You guys may have also noticed the background. You may recognize the background if you were here back then. It actually started in late 2016 in my precious little golden era that I call it. And it was basically a wall of shame for my haters, and I would put all their usernames up there. They're still there. I have two versions of these. One is empty, but this is the one with all the usernames on top. You can't tell because this is the bottom of the scrapbook page. But I see them all. I'm looking at them all right now, and I'm sorry to each and every one of those people because they had their own opinion. And a lot of them were probably very young and didn't realize that it was a little rude, some of the things that they said. Some of them were rude, some of them kind of said nasty things, but a lot of them were just entitled to their own opinions. And I remember a few in particular that I was the one to attack them and harass them and go on their videos, and it was my fault. And I wonder where they all are now. But was 2017 me sorry at all? Did 2017 me feel any remorse whatsoever? No, I got worse, in fact. I was super salty, and I decided to bring the wall of shame back. Yay, guys, it's a return! And I treated it as some achievement to bring it back, even though it really wasn't. And it was really just proof of me not changing and actually, in fact, becoming a worse person. And this isn't even the worst of it all. The year didn't get much better. I don't remember why I decided to make my videos so lazy. I just got a new phone, and from then on I just stopped trying, I guess. This new phone also had a really bad glitch on it, and people say they didn't notice it, but whenever I would film, it would just suddenly become way louder, like I got super close to the microphone or something. It would happen time and time again, and it happened for years until I finally got a new phone. Even though others didn't notice it, I did. And maybe this was one of the things that made me really angry about things that the viewers didn't notice, but I did. I don't like this. The viewers may like it, but I hate it. And that's one of my problems today. I wish that I didn't have to be remembered as 2017 LPSTube. I don't care if I'm remembered as 2015, 2016, 2019. I don't care. But I just don't want to be remembered as 2017 LPSTube. Those videos were so lazy. I don't know why I got so lazy. I don't know where the passion went. It just said, "Hey, I'm gonna go." You know, hey, thanks, goodbye. I see what you're trying to do, Allison. Come on, you have to talk about this. Go out there, be strong. that did not work. It was a very immature part of my life. It was a very lazy part of my life. I don't know where the motivation went. I don't know why it left. I don't know why I lost it. I don't know where it went. I just got a new phone and suddenly, bye motivation. It's like I had the motivation. I honestly just don't remember how I was back then. I don't remember. I know I made some live streams back then, and I do remember those. I can look back at those and see, so this is who I was. This is why I acted the way I did. But so far, I haven't really found the explanation in those live streams, and I haven't touched or seen those live streams in forever now. I don't remember why I was the way I was back then. Streams kind of help me remember who I was. When I look at old streams, I'm like, okay, that, this, and that, you know? Streams help me kind of connect with my audience and even connect with myself in a weird way. It helps me remember who I was. And considering I didn't make any streams back here, and 2017 was just this big blur of negativity, I just have no idea what my mindset was. I can't understand or comprehend it. It didn't help that at the time I had a friend who wasn't necessarily the best, but I know he didn't realize that. He was young. He still is. And we're all young and we all make mistakes, but our friendship wasn't the best, really. For many reasons, but I won't go in depth. That just didn't necessarily help the situation. And I remember actually making a vent about it eventually. And I'm not sure if it's still up, but if it is, there it is. There's the vent video. I don't remember what even happened to it. I really don't remember my late 2017 videos, but I remember when that was the time I accepted my mental health as going down the drain. I remember being there, sitting at this desk, and being so upset to make videos, not wanting to make any at all. I remember just being so upset and drained of motivation and inspiration all the time, wondering where my roots went, why I lost my roots, how I got so disconnected in the first place. I never really did get my answer because I still don't understand what happened. I still don't understand why I got so disconnected from that time. But the worst was still yet to come. Late 2017, I realized I'm not really enjoying myself. Everything about making LPS videos is so frustrating. I had to be perfect because I spent this entire year being lazy. I have to be better. I have to be perfect. And my channel was dying. Why did everyone leave? Where did everyone go? What are the answers? I have no answers to any of my questions. And I still don't. Where did everybody go? Why did you leave? Don't leave. And there were just so many emotions at the time. And I just didn't know what to do because there were no answers to the questions that I had. I tried finding my way out of this stupid rut, but I just couldn't. I remember going through some Melanie Martinez phase and making a bunch of music videos, and to this day I still kind of like those music videos. I made those music videos and I really liked making them. I genuinely liked making them, messing around with the editing and the filters. It was fun. And I started making only music videos and only videos like that where I used other audio because what I was doing before just wasn't cutting it. I wasn't healed from my anger that had controlled me that entire year. That anger just destroyed me for all of 2017 and 2018 too. It was a terrible time, to say the least. But eventually, things got even worse. When I decided, I don't really like making LPS videos. I'm done with this. I discovered the animation meme community that year. I wanted to join them. I wanted to animate and draw. That's all I wanted to do. And let's say people weren't very supportive of my decisions. And this was probably the darkest time in my entire life to this day. And people weren't supportive of the decisions at all. Suddenly, all those people who left my channel were back. To support me for leaving? No. To pressure me, to tell me, no, you can't leave, no, don't leave, and all these things. And even after I told them that it was bad for my mental health, lots of people didn't listen. There was just a lot of negativity, and the support that I got at the time, I don't even remember what it looked like. I don't remember what the support, if there was any, which I know there is any, but I just can't even remember it. I can't imagine having support at the time because it's so negative in my mind now. And I just remember it all being negative and dark and depressing. I had a very pessimistic mindset back then, and I couldn't focus on any of the positivity. I just didn't see it. Any of the no, don't leave, I need you, and the guilt tripping, and I'll literally hurt myself, I'll self-harm, I'll commit suicide if you leave, and people liking those comments. I do have to preach myself because I remember actually replying to one of the comments, no, just don't try to make me feel guilty for that. And I preach myself for actually acknowledging that. I can't believe I actually managed to understand that that was guilt tripping, but I guess I just learned that from the friend that I had at the time. It was the worst time of my life. I don't like going too in-depth, but I probably will. It wasn't a good time at all. I feel like I'm living in that time again as I talk about this, and it sucks. I hope it won't ruin my day, because this is a very bad time in my life, and it only gets worse the next year, which I guess I don't really want to go into, but I have no choice. 2017 still isn't missed. I don't want to go back to it. I don't want to go back to being lazy and being popular for being lazy. But because of the stupid YouTube algorithm, it seems to want me to be that way. I never really want to go back to 2017. But little did I know, the following year was even worse. There's no LPS for this portion of the video. I was originally going to use some drawings to resemble how I was kind of moving on to the animation meme community. But I don't know how to edit. There is no LPS for this part, because LPS was not me this year. I was not even in the LPS community this year. When I was so disconnected, I didn't even recognize myself because of an experience that happened, and God, I remember the date, January 15th, 2018. So things were already kind of difficult with a lot of people not really being supportive of my actions and my decisions to lead the LPS community. Things were already really difficult with not being able to leave properly with closure. And it was worse than I can even describe it. Honestly, I often tell myself that, if I had a more optimistic mindset back then, this wouldn't have been as bad. And honestly, it might have been true, but I couldn't help it. I mean, it was a traumatic experience that still haunts me, that still affects me, and it surprises me that it does, but I understand why it does. It's because I didn't expect feedback like that. I was so used to getting hate for my decisions that year, and now that I think about it, it might not even be just this experience, but just the year 2017 in general, and the year 2017 of getting hate and being angry over hate and constantly being angry over basically everything that might have caused me to have this mindset of people won't support this decision. People are going to be mean, and people asking me to please come back was messing with my mental health. And even though I understand now that they were just trying to innocently ask me to come back because they missed me, and they were probably really young and didn't understand at all what they were doing wrong, it still scares me to see comments like that today because of this experience, and at the time I didn't handle them well, which is why I think if I had handled it better, I wouldn't be so traumatized by it today. It's so stupid, but it wasn't stupid. I understand why I acted that way, but I can't convince myself that I wasn't stupid. The worst part was when people were genuinely becoming emotionally manipulative and trying to mess with my head, saying that they were going to cut or kill themselves if I didn't come back and give them videos. And it makes me mad that they even wanted my videos. Why would you appreciate what I put out in 2017? And it still affects me when people say that they missed my 2017 videos, even though it's not their fault and they have a right to their opinion. And you can have whatever opinion you want, but it still scars me because 2017 I don't want to be remembered for at all. I don't deserve anything that I got in 2017. I don't deserve any of the attention that I got. I don't deserve anything positive that I got in 2017. I preached the haters, even the ones who told me to kill myself in 2017. Good. Well, not necessarily, but that's what my brain tells me because I just hate my 2017 videos so much, and I hate that everyone loved them and would literally kill themselves for them. For those videos, what are your standards? Do you have them? But I understand they were kids. They didn't understand what they were doing, despite it being so manipulative. I can't excuse them for just being children. Because what kind of kid would say, I'm going to kill myself if you do this? I'm going to take my own life. We are desensitized to that as a society. But seriously, we are desensitized to that. Seeing it in media everywhere. But imagine actually threatening to take your own life. Imagining telling someone, someone is going to die today. Someone will take their life away. Someone will die and not be breathing, inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide because of you. Imagine telling someone that when you're, however old they were, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Imagine being that person. I can't forgive them. I still remember some of the usernames of some of them, which I obviously won't give out. I remember there were a couple comments in particular that just absolutely stabbed a dagger through me, and I can't understand why to this day, but I think it was just because it was so unexpected. I spent a year getting so much clout and attention for garbage work, and all of them suddenly just left. It felt like everyone just left all of a sudden. It was so unexpected, and it seemed like when I was trying, they all left. And it felt like I shouldn't try because of that. So when I stopped trying entirely, suddenly everyone is back to overwhelm me with "don't leave." When you don't even stick around to watch the work that I actually care about and work on, you're gonna kill yourself for 2017 LPS Allison TV. Your standards don't exist. And it's bizarre to me that people would do that children would do that. And even sometimes today I get scared just seeing a comment that is obviously written by like a kid saying something even remotely just asking about content or asking a question. It worries me because what if I say the wrong thing and then all of that will happen again? I relapse often. Which is what drove me to move channels. I relapse to these situations. I remember once I finally decided to be a little bit reasonable. It was when I decided to be a little bit reasonable and less angry and less lashing out to people who hadn't even given me their answers or responded to how they felt about me leaving yet. It was when I decided to finally just calm down, be reasonable, and make a calm video saying, "Please don't pressure me. It is affecting my mental health." When some people just absolutely let the animal out inside of them. On the videos that I was actually kind of harsh, kind of rude to people when they didn't even give me their answers yet, which makes me think this entire experience was my fault. It was then that people were just asking, "Please don't leave. When are you going to come back? Please come back." And then when I finally decided to be reasonable, some of them just absolutely go ballistic. It's when I decide to be just nice and just kind as I can be and reasonable about my answer that they decide to say, none of your stuff matters. No one cares about what you do. No one cares about your art. I hate your art. I hate what you do. I don't stop trying to have a future. People were literally saying, stop animating. Just stop doing things that you liked. And it was like they were doing it on purpose, but I tell myself, they're children, they can't do that on purpose. But some of them must have been doing it on purpose. Even when I came back, I made a video saying, "I'm back," a celebration video, and dear God, it was a speed paint. And someone yelled, "Stop animating," in the comments, because how dare you try to move on to something that makes you comfortable and happy in your own skin. Because, oh no, 2017 LPS Allison TV is leaving. What are we going to do without her incredibly lazy garbage videos that deserved no attention whatsoever? And I honestly wouldn't feel anything if they were all deleted off the face of the earth, except don't quite delete them yet, please, because I kind of need some of them, like Old Fabulous Fables, because I don't even remember the story because it was so forgettable, and I kind of need it so that I can rewrite it. And it was garbage. It was a terrible experience. January 15th, I completely broke down. I remember it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day on a Monday morning with no school, so no one was home, so I could just cry as loud as I could. And it was awful. I don't want to go too long, because honestly, this video is really long, and I'm sorry if I'm getting distracted from the main topic and I can't stay serious. That's kind of who I am. But no matter how many jokes I'm trying to make in between this, it was really hard for me, and it still affects me in ways that I don't understand. And I think what's so hard about it is that this literally changed my life, this experience. And I think that's why I don't recognize my motives for being lazy or just recognize who I was before this, because it was a severe change in my life, a traumatic experience. So I only recognize myself from after the change, and I can't recognize who I was before when I was happier. And I think that's what makes it so difficult, that you can't recognize yourself before the change. You can only recognize the negativity from afterward, which I think is what swallows and consumes so many people. They don't understand this is why they can't go back, and it crushes them, and they end up taking their life sometimes. But I didn't, because how am I even gonna do that? And plus, I can't throw my entire life away. I can't imagine throwing my entire life away to let them win. I often don't like going super in depth with these experiences. When I was thinking about making this portion of the video a couple days ago, it made me relapse again. And it made me think, imagine when you actually record this video, you're gonna totally break down. But I think the reason I broke down a couple days ago when I was thinking about making this was because I wasn't letting it out like I am now. I wasn't truly letting out how I felt about the experience. I wasn't truly letting out, this is how I feel, this is what happened, this is everything that happened. I was keeping it in, and it was putting a weight on my head, which is what anger feels like. This experience affects me, and I don't even realize that it still affects me today in different ways. For example, any disapproval from fans, any disapproval whatsoever from fans. If it's from haters who just don't like my videos, it doesn't affect me as much. I can take hate relatively well now. But when it's people who are fans, any sign of disapproval, or you left us on a cliffhanger, I'm really disappointed in this. Disappointment. Fans being disappointed in me scares me so much because of this experience, and I hate it when I disappoint fans because I feel like it's all gonna happen again, and I didn't expect it either. And it scares me because sometimes I still do things I don't even realize what they could start. I just say something that I think is completely normal. It's like any other day, any other experience, anything else that I say on a normal day, on a normal week, a month, a year, and suddenly everyone is just lashing out and getting angry and fighting, and I just don't know what's going to set them off because I didn't know what I was saying was going to cause anything. There was something that happened later this year in 2018 in June, I believe, and I made a post about how my other posts weren't getting attention, and I thought it was an obvious joke. It wasn't a good joke. Remember that jokes had to be good, or have to be funny, or have a joke to be a joke. But it was supposed to be some kind of exaggeration or joke. I had a really bad sense of humor, but at the time, I didn't know that it would cause anything whatsoever. I thought it was just an innocent, obvious, whiny joke, and people would put ironic crying emojis in the comments. What do I see in the comments? People screaming, people getting angry, people saying no one cares about any of your posts, saying just things that I didn't expect at all. And I'm not trying to justify the joke. It wasn't like an offensive joke. It was just whining about how my posts didn't get attention. I thought it was an obvious way. I'm whiny and exaggerating, whatever. And I thought it was obvious. And I honestly can't even say today if it was just an innocent joke because I can't recognize it. I don't even remember it because I'm just so clouded from what happened. And it's just, my vision is clouded from the experience. And because of this January 15th experience, that later June or July, whatever experience affected me so much more, seeing comments, no one cares about your post. That's exactly like no one cares about your R animation comeback. Or people leaving again, people unsubscribing, people saying, I don't care about your posts when I thought you did. Why are you here if you don't care? Why are you here if you don't care? Go away if you don't care about me. Just right now, unsubscribe, go away. I don't care. If you don't care, just go away. Just please go away if you literally don't care about me or my videos. Why are you even here? Just so you can wait for me to mess up and then lash out at me again when I don't even realize what I'm doing is wrong? I'm a damn kid, y'all. I'm gonna mess up. Everyone messes up. Adults, kids alike. You can't just randomly go lashing out at them when they don't even realize what they're doing is wrong. I'm not trying to justify bad actions here. Just tell them what they're doing is wrong. There are exceptions. There are people who know exactly what they're doing is wrong, and they're evil and manipulative, and they'll do whatever they can to get their way, but I'm not trying to be that kind of person. And today it still affects me. I'm not even really going through 2018. I'm just going through this one experience because it's what defined all of 2018 after that. I don't even know how long this entire clip is. I'm doing this all in one clip, one recording, so God help me if it messes up or something. But it just was awful. It was traumatic. It's the reason I can't even handle seeing comments like, hey, when's the next episode of this? It's such an innocent comment. And if you make that comment, you're not a bad person. I just want to make it clear, if you make these comments, if you're a fan disapproving of any of my actions, it's not your fault. You can think what you want. And it's not my fault either. It's the trauma's fault. It's the experience's fault that clouds my vision so that I can't see your comment as just an innocent comment, but rather just someone waiting to lash out at the perfect moment. And I'm sorry that I see it that way. I don't mean to see it that way. And it's not your fault either. Don't you dare feel bad about it, because it's not your fault. You can think what you want. You can disapprove of me. It's just this experience is the reason that I can't take it as well, and that I can't handle it as well as I used to before the change, which I can't recognize, because the change changed me, and I can't recognize the me before the change. I recognize the me after the change when negativity came into my life. I can't recognize the positivity before the change. Man. It was also the reason that some of you may be familiar with this as well. A stream drama happened where someone I looked up to insulted me. That person is literally a horrible person. I hope they go to jail now and everyone hates them. And honestly, yes. But the stream drama happened in September of 2018. And they suddenly started talking about me and how I was so stupid. And honestly, I agree. My videos were terrible. They mentioned a certain video that was really dumb. I remember watching it, being in denial at first. 5 stages of grief. Being insulted by my idol at the time. Would idolize him today, I don't know, but I just thought, oh yeah, that was kind of a silly video, and then it just started kind of getting worse and worse, and I couldn't justify what they were saying anymore, and I started crying, and I just got off the stream quietly, and people in the chat talked about me too, because we just bandwagon on what our idol says. Get arrested, bitch! Alright, okay. I didn't think I was gonna say that, but sure. They're a horrible person. But yeah, it was bad. And it's why I couldn't handle that stream drama at the time. Before that change, I still would have been upset about it, but it would have not affected me as much. I thought the same thing was going to happen, where all those people came attacked me, and my fans turned on me because my fans were also a fan of that person who insulted me, and maybe everyone would turn on me again and it would happen again because it was people being fake, and I couldn't handle fake. You could see so many events that year, videos, streams, or even today, honey. Ever since January 15, 2018, there have been countless events that I've made about fake people. Because it still affects me. This experience scarred me. And yeah, I can heal from it. I can put a band-aid on the scar. But the scar remains, no matter how much it fades. It stays there. And it sucks that it stays there. I honestly, I didn't know what was I going to say after that. I really can't keep a serious tone even when I'm talking about something that literally traumatized me. Can't tell if that's good or bad. I just want to make it clear that this experience changed me, and it's why I was so disconnected for all of 2018. I was disconnected from everything. And after the stream drama, I felt like I didn't fit into the animation community either. And I think it was around the time I decided to leave my Squidster channel as well, which is where I went for animation and art. Let's say, I guess, cancel culture is the best way to talk about it. It's just an example, really. I wasn't canceled, but I felt like I was. That's what it felt like now that I think about it. Cancel culture, just being canceled. Just not fitting in anymore. Not being connected. I wasn't happy like everyone else in the LPS community. I don't want to say this like, I'm a victim, feel sorry for me. But genuinely just looking at how LPS videos were going, it started dying in around 2019, 2018. But I feel like my channel was one of the first to die. And honestly, fine, because my videos were awful anyways. I deserved to die. Well, no, I didn't deserve to die, but, I deserved for my channel to die. I just didn't see it at the time, which is why it affected me so much. This is a long portion of the video, I'm aware. And I'm aware it's also just staring into the void, but that experience still affects me. There are still recent streams, recent videos, recent things of me not being able to handle it. Venting about it. 2020, I started relapsing to this experience and remembering it. January, February, it happened. And in those times, I've thought about quitting. May, it happened all throughout May, just all the time, maybe every week, I'm not sure. I don't think that they'll stop, but I know that I have people who understand this experience, especially now after I'm talking about it, that will support me through it and care about me, and I appreciate those people, even if I can't show it. It's easier to talk about something that hurts you so much than something that you appreciate so much, I guess. I just want you to know, I appreciate you all. I'm not scared of my fans anymore, like I was in 2018. 2018, I thought everyone was fake, but none of them really cared, that it was all lies, and they were just waiting for the next chance to lash out. Now I've kind of accepted, okay, I don't think they really meant that because they were young, but I also am not trying to justify it. I'm just trying to tell myself they aren't purposefully waiting for you to mess up again. They're not purposefully waiting for you to say something remotely offensive and then lash out again. It was why I was scared to start swearing in my videos, you know, start saying meanie words. Then again, I did just say that remark earlier, so sorry homies, but I was scared to make those decisions, and it's why I was unreasonable to people who were like, oh, don't swear, because those were fans who were disappointed in me. Fans, disappointment in the same sentence, boom, go away. That was my instant reaction, and I'm trying to fix that reaction, because people have a right to be disappointed or tell me that I'm not doing something right, and I need to learn that that's okay. I can't be stubborn forever and say that they're a fake fan and throw them out and block them from my channel, never change my actions, because that's why 2018 was so horrible. I haven't even gone through all of 2018, not even almost. I pretty much just talked about an experience, and that experience affected me the entire year, so I guess it counts. It's why I was so disconnected, and it's why later experiences affected me so much. 2018 is still the worst experience in my life, and at one point I even just tried to full out censor it and just avoid it forever, but I knew, even back then, I can't just avoid it. Right now, as I'm talking about this even, it feels nice to just kind of talk about it. I've almost cried a couple times while I'm recording this clip. Well, I've recorded this entire video, really. But it doesn't feel so bad to talk about it right now, because I think I'm genuinely just letting it out. Even knowing that there won't be that many people on here. It's a very weird feeling, like, I've improvised this entire video. I know that's hard to believe, but 5 years of improvising and never using a script kind of gets you somewhere. So I guess it's just, I don't know. I experienced lots of new emotions this year, and I guess this is one of them, where I just am genuinely okay with there not being a million people to see this. Just genuinely being okay. I'm not even lying, and it feels so nice to not lie for once. Oh my god! And be satisfied with my answer. Yo! That is nice, and I hope that I can accept this experience, and I've been trying. I pretty much tried in May, but trying to accept it, I guess, was just making myself sad about it. Accepting is just being okay with your final answer. And I don't quite know what my final answer is yet. We're not even done with this video or my journey. It's just that this affected it so much, and this had a huge impact on it. I don't even know where to go or where to stop talking about this because it affected me so much, and there's so much to blabber about, and I am quite a rambler, so you can imagine just going on with this, improvising without a script. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm sorry. But I just, I don't even know where to go. This is what happens when you don't have a script. But I guess I got it out. I didn't quite explain in depth just how it was so traumatizing. I think I did, I just don't realize that I did. It's weird. It's a very unusual feeling. But I was disconnected this entire year. I didn't feel connected to anyone anymore. I was faking happy through everything. I was just pretending to be happy through everything. And it wasn't until late 2018, like November or December, that I decided, hey, you know what? I'm sick of just being upset all the time and genuinely just being sad all the time. I'm tired of it. So I'm gonna stop. And obviously it's not so easy to just stop being sad. but it was easy for me to change to a positive, optimistic view of life. And ever since then, it's changed me. And that's another change, which is why I sort of don't even recognize 2018 me, because I was so different. After making this optimistic change, I recognize myself from after that optimistic change. Anytime I make a change to my mindset, a total change to my mindset, or an experience totally changes it, I can't recognize myself from before that. Goodbye, older self. I can no longer even see myself in you. Which sometimes kind of sucks, but in cases like this, it's kind of nice. Goodbye, 2018 me. I don't know who you are even. You made some mistakes. You went through some pretty bad experiences. And those bad experiences sort of caused you to lash out and make those mistakes. It doesn't make them okay, but you've learned from them now. You made an optimistic change, and now you're me. I'm me. And that brings us into 2019. I'm sorry, I don't feel satisfied. I feel like I haven't gotten everything out, but it's time to move on. Well, we've had quite the journey thus far, and it's now time to get into the next year. After this year, this crazy, eventful year of being disconnected, of being basically traumatized by people I thought I could trust at the time, and basically an entire year of kind of chaos, kind of sadness, overall wasn't good. But it was time to move on to better times. 2019. ...2019 was a pretty good year for the channel, to be honest. Maybe not like views-wise and subscribers-wise, since this was right at the time LPSTube was really dying. Not to mention Kappa coming in the next year after that. But something was different this year. I was genuinely enjoying myself filming. I was genuinely enjoying myself making videos. And I was genuinely having fun just filming and playing with my LPS. I knew what it was like to experience these videos again after years of not being able to have genuine fun making them. And it felt so nice and freeing to be able to make and record and edit like I never had before. That's a straight lie. Why did I say that? I've literally used the same 3 apps for 5 years. But it doesn't change the fact that 2019 was a really good year for me personally and my mental health. Besides being obsessed with drama the whole year, you may have even seen me call people out on my LPS channel. Not mature, but I was in a genuinely happier place. I changed my mindset to be more optimistic, and of course it was hard to kind of find the balance, and I finally realized after a year of keeping this optimistic mindset up that I needed to truly just let myself be free and let myself be happy and have a balance. That I can be sad sometimes, and I've even grown to enjoy being sad sometimes. My mental health was a lot better. I was petty the whole year. I called people out. I even called out the person who is now my current partner in a video because of a huge misunderstanding. Yikes, but at least it's over now. In all honesty though, aside from being pretty petty this year and kind of obsessed with drama almost all of 2019, I was genuinely happy. And other than all that, I was just genuinely enjoying myself. I was vibing with my friends. Most of them are gone. I was vibing with my channel and my LPS and my fans. I was having a good time. And hate comments didn't really affect me as much as they used to. In fact, hate comments, I was getting a lot less of them. And I'm just hoping that when I become more popular, because I hope I will become more popular one day just so I can get myself out there and get more known, have my own little community one day. I just hope that when the hate comments come back, because I know they will, that I won't relapse and have that whole experience again and won't be able to handle hate again, and then the whole cycle will repeat. I don't think that will happen because I'm stronger mentally and I can handle them more maturely. And I can just learn to laugh at them and bring my positivity into it. Kill them with kindness, I say. To be honest, if I get rid of my stupid nostalgia, 2019 was probably the best year for the channel. Even though I was remaking a lot of crap, and I finally had to learn later that year that you guys might know that I learned this later on, that I need to remake stuff that's genuinely, necessary to remake. Because I started just remaking stuff that were perfectly fine on their own, and I didn't really need to remake all these videos, and yet I did when it wasn't really needed, and it kind of became an addiction to remake them. Remaking stuff is fun, but, aside from the whole remaking stuff and basically canceling all my series, that year was pretty good. because I was making realizations, my mental health was better, I was more connected with the community, and it was really fun. And I started making videos that I was genuinely proud of, that were genuinely really good, and I was super proud of them. I was working on the Fabulous Fables reboot, which I'm still working on all the time. That's pretty much my main focus for this channel now. And overall, it was really fun. So 2019 was a pretty good year, but also a year that I can't necessarily say much about, because it was like in spring and summer I was pretty active with these videos that I was proud of, and I made a friend and they would comment on my videos and give me some advice. They're still my friend today, and overall it was really nice. But once school rolled around, that motivation went bye-bye once again, and I thought, is this going to be it every year? What happened in 2016 that was so different? What happened in 2016 that was so different, where I would have motivation despite having school, and I would actually want to get up every day and film, and I still don't really remember. But I do know that even if it goes away during school, at least I have lots of other things to look forward to, and I'm sure that the motivation does come back eventually, because this is a passion, this is something I genuinely want to pursue and genuinely want to do, which I think is why I can't let go of it, and which is why I can't necessarily tell myself that I don't like this anymore, because I do like it, I do enjoy this, I'm having fun right now. Like, this is something I want to do, this is my focus. So that's all I could really say about 2019, because once spring and summer were over, it was kind of back to just kind of being dead on the channel. And I did have more time to film because I got home earlier from school because high school, but even still, it was just difficult to stay active. This then brings us to the current year, 2020. So it's time to say goodbye to 2019, which was pretty much the last year for LPS Allison TV. See you later, 2019. You were a pretty good year. And so this brings us to our current year with our current mascot and our current channel, StrawGlicks, 2020. There is no montage for this year because there was barely any activity or videos uploaded this year. And it's time to fully explain why. Now you guys know all about that 2018 experience that pretty much disconnected me from the community, and ever since then, things really haven't been the same. And unfortunately, 2020 brought me lots of relapses, which I think I mentioned earlier. I relapsed, I believe, in January, then February, which is when I think I decided to try to censor 2018 out and try to just forget it all, but I knew that I couldn't. I was just kind of in denial and desperate to get away from it. And I think I ended up relapsing a lot at the beginning of May, which is when I decided to move to this channel. I think I uploaded like one real video on LPS Allison TV in March. I don't think I even really uploaded anything else except for some lazy video or something. Not to mention that March video was a Christmas special, just to give you an idea of how the motivation was at the time. And at the beginning of May, I relapsed. Like a lot. And I kept remembering that experience and thinking, maybe all the people here don't really care. And when I saw some comments talking about they were disappointed about me canceling Camp Riverwood, it sort of added to that. And it's not their fault. Once again, it's not their fault. It's the trauma's fault. It's that scar's fault on my brain, and it sucks. And it's not their fault at all. They're allowed to be disappointed and have their own negative thoughts on me. It's not their fault. They can think what they want. It just added to it because of that stupid experience. Now, as much as it sucked, I knew that I had to do something. This wasn't working. I noticed LPS Allison TV was kind of unorganized, or it felt unorganized and it felt clogged, and I just needed a fresh plate. I remember when Kappa came in, probably really should have mentioned that, but oh well, I don't have a script. Kappa came in, and I tried to move to Blair, so there are like 3 videos on there that will probably be forgotten. So they're just sitting there. I haven't touched it in months. Don't know if I ever will go back. I just remember an introduction video. I think there were 10 things I hate about growing up, maybe. And I think there was also like an unboxing video of my horse or something. But that's about it. So Blair has been abandoned, and Copper wasn't as bad as literally any of us thought. So everyone left over misinformation. Please come back. Oh my god. But yeah, as bad as that whole situation was, and as bad as 2020 has been overall for all of us, really, 2020 was kind of like the year for a fresh start because of Kappa going on to Blair, deciding to come back because screw that, and then deciding to move to StrawGlicks in the beginning of May because I just needed a fresh start. I desperately needed a fresh start. I don't know what StrawGlicks means. It was just kind of a username I thought of one day, and so it's my own original username. Do not steal. It's now a username that I go by. The usernames I pretty much go by are LPSTube or the Squidster or just Squid for short, and StrawGlicks. So those are pretty much what I go by now besides just my name, Allison. And so it's just kind of another one of my little identities, I guess, if that's how you want to put it. So Sherbert became the mascot because I was like, hey, that's the perfect opportunity to make this little guy my mascot because he's my favorite LPS ever. He became my favorite LPS ever, I think, in 2019 when I discovered him. So that's why Allison's not the mascot of this channel, but she still means a whole lot to me. She's basically the co-mascot now because, come on, you can't just abandon her like that. And I don't want to abandon LPSTube either. I don't want to give people the idea that I want to abandon that. I just kind of wanted to abandon the experience, although I can't forget it. I just kind of wanted to have a fresh play and a fresh start. I don't hate LPSTube at all. I just really didn't want to give that impression. I don't hate it at all. I don't like relapse whenever I look at it or anything. I'm good with it. It's cool. I'm on good terms with my old self. You know what I'm saying? What is this accent turning into? You know, things are good. So it's not bad at all. I just wanted a fresh plate. I desperately needed a fresh plate due to these experiences and overall lack of motivation, just kind of needing to start clean. So that's why we're here now. This blue glittery wallpaper has kind of become something on this channel because I'm lazy, and you don't even have to tape this to the wall or the mirror because I have a mirror there. It just kind of holds up on its own because of what it's made of. So this is going to become a thing in 2020 for this channel, so I guess maybe we'll be remembered for this. And it will be a symbol of my laziness. Absolutely perfect. I honestly don't know what else to say. I tried to start StrawGlicks. That was a bust. I don't even know if I'm going to make it anymore. And it kind of started my whole obsession with needing time to pass and wanting to look back on old times and see how things have changed. So it made me obsessed with change and wanting to look back on old times. And honestly, it's over. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't keep things up. I need to stop starting things because I feel like I'll just always cancel them in the end. And I need to think things through and actually like do smart things and make good decisions. And I'm sorry if I don't. I really hate messing up like this and disappointing people. But StrawGlicks, just screw it. Who cares? It was just kind of a ramble thing, really. I am going to mess up. I am going to screw up. We all make mistakes. And I'm sorry that I disappoint people. I'm sorry that I'm really bad at doing these things and overall operating as a human being with LPS because of these past experiences and overall my journey. But I'm glad that you guys have sat here and listened to this for what, an hour now or something like that. And I'm really glad that you took the time out of your day to listen to my journey because it shows that you care and it shows that my legacy really means a lot to you and it gives me hope for my future. So thank you so much for sticking through and listening to my entire journey in this entire video. Lord knows what we have on this channel upcoming in the future, but I'm not going to be obsessed with looking back on this or whatever. I just want to make this and live in the now instead of live in the future and be obsessed with it. I just want to chill. I want to vibe with my LPS. I'll probably make some one-take challenges since they're easy for me. I don't know, honestly. It's sort of unpredictable at this point. But I do know that I'm going to vibe and have a good time with my LPS and my friendos and all those amigos. And I know that I'm just going to have a good time overall. Even if you don't watch my videos, even if you don't like my videos, I appreciate you sticking around and listening to me talk, whether you like me or not. I just know that people took the time out of their day to acknowledge me as a person, and it feels really nice, so thank you. Thank you for remembering me, thank you for sticking around with me, just thank you for being there, honestly. Thank you for being a bro. Despite me being the literal worst at keeping promises and overall making videos and maintaining my motivation, this does mean a lot to me. It's my legacy and my journey, and I care about it a lot. And I don't want to quit, no matter how much I relapse or that experience comes back to me. I won't just let it win and overpower me. Because this is something that I care about. This is my passion project, my passion channel, whatever you want to call it. It's my passion. It's what I want to do and what I want to pursue. So thank you so much for sticking around and listening to this long ramble, pretty much. I am quite the rambler. I can't stop. This was improvised because I just wanted to be real and authentic with you and truly talk it out instead of have some robot script. I don't like scripts, especially for videos like this that mean a lot to me because they feel fake, and I just want to be absolutely 100% real and just talk it out. That's what I'm all about here. So thank you for coming to LPSTube. Thank you for coming to StrawGlicks. Thank you no matter how long you've been here. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, the 5th year. Thank you for being here. Technically it's the 6th year, but it's like 5 years. You know, it's really difficult.